Well, hello, dear viewer. Tis Jonah here once again, doing another beer review. But I thought I'd show you something quite funny first, which is a bit random, but hey, that's how we do things over on this channel. Look at this little Stein thing that I got given. Now, is this a pint, and my hands are massive, or is it tiny? Well, here's a can of beer that we're going to review today. It's definitely not going to fit in there. Anyway, I thought that was cool. I don't know what I'm going to put in there, pens or something in the office, whatever. Cool. Um, yeah, it brings me on to some other things that I've been thinking about lately. But maybe if I remember, I'll tell you at the end. Let's get into the beer. Okay, so as you well know, I went to Pier the other day, and this is a style. Let me try and get it here. Blackout, it's called, and it's a style that I really like. It's a black IPA, fantastic, at 5.9%, which is good in my book. And look, some lovely artwork, and I believe all the artwork from the different beers. Let me get the thing. I've got it over here. So all the artwork from all these different beers. Not going to focus on there, is it now? Let's see if it does. There we go. Oh, that's the one we've got. See all that? They're all done by the same guy who doesn't live around there anymore. But I got some info about him on the back. Let's see if it focuses. Dun dun dun. Is it Duncan Grant? Come on, camera. I know it's the end of the weekend, but Jesus. There we go. Yeah, Duncan Grant, Gravesend-based artist. Well, apparently he doesn't live there. He's moved, but yeah, that's cool. And he writes. Sorry, he paints for the outside of novels and fabrics and all that kind of stuff. If you want to check him out, DuncanGrantArtist.com. But anyway, this is the beer we're having, Blackout. Black IPA hopped with. Now look at this bad boy. So we got Simcoe, we got a triple C of Columbus Centennial Chinook, and it's got Amarillo in there. Interestingly, tasting that's really short, which is kind of cool. Piney resinous hops complemented with soft roast malty notes. Absolutely brilliant. That is about all you get on the can, which is brilliant. I really like a simple can, and there's so much room. You could put other stuff on there. But they haven't really short. Oh, down the bottom there, let's show you the Pier address and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I've just noticed we've got some wheat and we've got rye in there as well, which is cool. Pier over in Gravesend, and they're friendly to vegans. So yeah, no meat around there. I had a look at this on Untapped, and there aren't that many reviews, so that's good because it gives me a chance to put my 10 cents in, or 10p. But yeah, interesting. But a black IPA is something I really like. So this has been chilling. Maybe I shouldn't have chilled it, but I'm always worried these days about things exploding. And I only bought this yesterday, so it shouldn't be too bad. But you never know, dear viewer. You never know what you're going to get. Life is like a 6-pack of beer. You never know what you're going to get. Anyway, so what I thought I'd do, I have retired Big Chungus for the moment. I'm going to see how much of this 440 can will fit into my tulip tasting glass. I'm hoping the head is not going to be massive, put it that way. But let us see what we're going to get. I think we're going to get most of it in there. I don't want no head at all, but I don't want a massive head. He says, pouring a massive head. No, actually, not too bad. Come on. Oh, we got a little bit left. A little bit. Oh, perfection. As if I'd planned it that way. And believe me, dear viewer, I hadn't. So let us get a nice shot while we're here. That's looking fab, actually. Right, boom, boom, shake, shaman the room. Blackout IPA. Let's get that a bit more kind of in shot-ish. A cheesy grin for the viewers. For you, dear viewer, only for you. Right, so Finger's Head, just over. The carbonation, I don't know if you can see, is medium, I'd say. It's not massively aggressive. You can see the bubbles rising here. Nice thin cap, just off-white, I would say. And it's not the majority of it is nice, small carbonation type bubbles, which is fantastic. I actually asked them, I did tell you yesterday, if you haven't seen that video, where have you been? Have a look at my back catalogue. Why not consider subscribing to the channel too, and then you'll never miss any videos. But yes, I spoke to the head brewer there, and I'm terrible with names. I can't even remember my own name. So sorry, Pier brewer, but you're a really nice guy. Yeah, I spoke to him about the possibility of him adding a nitro tap for predominantly it was for dark beers, the cast iron stout, which is why I was there, the award-winning stout, which is absolutely gorgeous. But that through nitro, I think would be really good. But you don't have to put just stouts through nitro. Once you set up a individual nitro line, you can put whatever you like through it. How about a black IPA through a nitro line? I know back in the day, back in the 90s, they used to play around with putting lots of different stuff. John Smith had a nitro. Caffrey's had a nitro. Guinness, obviously. Guinness, what was their weird lager, weird one? They had a Guinness smooth flow, but it was like a bitter. So there were a few bitters that were on nitro as well. These days, it's things like coffee, which is just nuts. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Now, maybe because I chilled it down, but I'm not getting too much. All I'm getting is like a hint of pine. I'm not sure which hops were placed in which order, etc., etc. We've got Simcoe for the juices. Amarillo gives a bit of an orange stuff. And then we got a triple C, including Centennial, I think. Yeah, I just looked over there. My favourite hop of all time, Centennial. Don't know why. Don't ask. Don't ask. But Centennial, oh, love it. Right. Cheers and beers. Let's dive in. Hopefully you've had a good weekend. Been a bit up and down for me, but yeah, life, gets in the way and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and there is a new edition. I haven't actually got one to hand, but there's a new edition of the East Kent Drinker. So if you're like me and over in East Kent, let me show you the old one. There is a new version of this out, which you will see. This is the old last year's version, which I'm in. Believe it or not, there's a couple of pictures of me in that bad boy. But anyway, have a look in your pubs, especially on the sort of the east coast of Kent and around those neck of the woods and that kind of stuff. Cheers and beers. Interesting. Very smooth. Got a lot of bitterness. And astringency too. So I'm thinking that's coming from more from the roast malts, I would say. And then we've got, it's interesting. Bitter, but it's bitter coming from the hops. And then we've got a weird roasty and astringency stuff coming from, predominantly, I think, coming from the malts. And they're kind of fighting each other. I thought this was going to be incredibly hoppy, but it isn't. It's quite a lot of bitterness, so this is more kind of West Coasty type style. Um, but some black IPAs you can really pull out the individual hops. Not so much in this one. Yeah, similar to the nose, the aroma. What I'm getting is yeah, sort of green, hedgerowy, pine. Yeah, pine. That's the kind of thing. Pine. Maybe that's what the bitterness is. Pine bitterness. Hmm. Interesting. Let's dive in for some more, shall we? But it's quite nice. Like I say, really super smooth. Then you get a hit of the bitterness. Right, come on, Jonah. Let's see if we can get the hop thing going on. Maybe I'm thinking because it's got some rye in. That's probably partly where the astringency comes from. So yeah, pine bitterness and rye astringency. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice combination. It's it's weird, right? This is weird, dear viewer. So black IPAs used to be the new IPA thing, but not anymore. And they've kind of died a death, but are still hanging on. I really like black IPAs. Um, good level of carbonation, but there's 5 different types of hops in there. It's not hoppy enough. That's the one thing I would say. Um, but maybe that's not what they're going for. Maybe they're going for a more smooth thing. And in a similar way to the stout, the cast iron stout it's called, which is really bitter on cask, smooth on draft. Um, but yeah, very similar kind of malt thing going on, and it's smooth. It's really smooth. It's just not hoppy enough. Dare I say it? I really wanted to like this one. Love the style black IPA. Iron Pier. I was there yesterday. Really friendly bunch of guys. It's good. It's not bad. Please don't think this is bad. It's a really good beer, but it's not amazing. There we go. That is the Blackout Black IPA. And look at it. It is pretty black. I'd say maybe it's got a reddish hue just down at where the glass thins out. The other thing is we're not getting much lacing on the glass. Maybe because it's out of a can, but then we've had some cans with some proper lacing. Oh, he says that, and then there's an amazingly thick line that looks like the sea, dear viewer. The views from places like Margate's got a nice view, especially in the evening. Minners Bay is probably my favourite. Um, only problem is there's only one pub and it's the Shepherd Neame down by the sea. Nothing wrong with Shepherd Neame, you understand. Um, but yeah, once you've had one, you've had them all, kind of thing. Don't know about you, but when I go to a Shepherd Neame, I tend to buy. This is going to sound completely bonkers, but I buy bottles that they have in the fridge behind the bar. I don't often go for a draft beer unless there's something seasonal on, in which case I'll try it. But yeah, my favourite is probably the double stout. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. I love that beer. Mm, back to this one. So I'm looking for orange. I'm looking for citrus. I'm looking for bubblegum, believe it or not. And they're all there but they're right in the background. It's like you really have to go, where is it? Where's the taste? Um, maybe, maybe it's the rye. I don't know. Maybe they haven't added it that late in the boil. I know they do. I was talking to the brewer, and they do like a hop back kind of thing. Because they're really small. The brewery is small. I mean, compared to what I homebrew on, what on the rare occasion these days that I do homebrew, but I do. Don't think that I don't. Um, but yeah, the hop back thing. Yeah, I saw one of my homebrew heroes is obviously Toots Corey Kid over in America, and he's got a system which is probably a few years old now, but he had a two vessel system, and what he does is he goes from one to the other and then back again, instead of having three vessel system, which is reasonably standard. Well, it used to be. I've got a one vessel system, all electric, which is absolutely fantastic bit of kit. I've battered it already, put dents in it and all sorts. So yeah, less spoken about that, the better. And it was reasonably expensive too. But anyway, never mind. But yeah, what they do is they boil, they do the mash, go into a boiling vessel, and then do like a hop back. So they fill the mash tun with loads of hops and pass the beer back through the hops. There's like a massive hop rocket, they used to call them in the day. Really interesting way of doing things. I don't know if they're doing it with this beer because it's just not. It doesn't seem hoppy enough. Um, hmm. Anyway, I'm dwelling far too much on that. As an actual beer, really good, lovely and smooth. If you like rye beers, if you like a bit of astringency in your beers, this is a good one. Um, but it's just not hoppy enough, in my estimation, to be a full-on black IPA. Ah, but what do I know? Oh, and at 5.9%, well, look at that last couple of sips. I've definitely got the line. But that one, look at that one. That was pathetic. But those ones are fat. I like that. Anyway, if you do get the chance to go and visit Iron Pier, they are a lovely bunch of guys. They've got some nice beers on. This one's slightly off style for what it's supposed to be, but it's a near on 6% beer in a big can. So I am happy, to say the least. Guys, this has been Unclejona waffling along. Um, oh, yes, I mentioned something at the beginning. I am thinking about doing some EDC videos, I based on equipment that I use, but I'm going to base them on, what I use, doing my reviews, doing my beer judging, beer tasting, all that kind of stuff. What sort of equipment does one need? Let me know down in the comments. Do you think that's a good idea? Should I do some videos that aren't purely just me drinking beers? Should I do something slightly different? Don't know. Just thinking about it at the moment. Um, but yes, we're almost at 20 minutes now, so I'm going to bid you adieu. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Unclejona will return with more beer reviews. Take care.